Okay, 8th grade, you are on 5.1. Shh, 7th grade, I need you to be quiet, please.
Okay.
5.1. Okay, we are solving systems of linear equations by graphing. When you're solving systems of linear equations, there's going to be 3 different methods that you're going to learn how to solve this. The first one is graphing. Okay, do your warm-ups. All right, so the first warm-up, oh, I'm not going to be able to draw very good. Woo. -2. This is going to be bad without a mouse. -6. Man, if I could get a stylus on this.
Get a ThinkPad.
Yeah, teacher. We get a stylus.
Oh, that's no, not even. That was supposed to be a 4. All right. Okay, so here's your 2 points. We are to write this in slope-intercept form. So how do we find the slope?
Yeah, you do the
Samuel.
Find the y2 minus y1 over x1 x2
Minus x1, right.
formula.
So we're just going to pick one of these to be the first part of the equation and the other to be the second part. So I'm going to put the negatives first. So I'm going to say -6 minus 4 on top. And then I stay with the same point first, so -2 minus 3. Okay, what is -6 minus 4? -10. It goes further negative. Very good. So -10 on top. What is -2 minus 3?
-5.
Okay, negative divided by a negative is a...
Positive, go to positive.
And what is 10 divided by 5?
2.
So our slope is 2. Okay, so now we have our slope, but we still need to find our y-intercept, yes? Remember, y-intercept is when x equals 0. So first thing I'm going to do is see, are any of these points x equals 0?
No.
No, so then we have to solve it. So I just pick one of these points and plug them in for x and y. I'm going to pick the positive one. 7th grade. I can't talk over you guys today. So my y value is 4, so 4 equals, what is my slope?
2.
So 2, y equals 2 mx, so 2 times, what's my x value?
-6.
3. I chose the positive number, so this is x right here, and this is y. So I plug those in, and then I say plus b at the end, because that's what we're looking for, right?
Yep.
So now I only have one variable, which means I can solve for it. What's 2 times 3?
6.
Okay, now how do I get 6 over to the other side?
Subtract.
That looks like a b, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well this is the b. So I'm going to subtract 6. It's because I'm writing with my hand instead of a mouse. It's very difficult. What's 4 minus 6?
-2.
-2. So do I have my y-intercept now?
Yes.
Definitely.
I mean, yes.
Yes. So now I can write my slope-intercept form. I go back to y equals, what's my slope?
2.
So 2x, and what's my y-intercept?
-2.
So minus 2.
Why did I put -6?
What's the -2 equals 1 flag?
B.
Oh, it looks like a fortune cookie. I don't even know.
It's a B.
Why?
This is a B. Is
2x minus.
that better?
Yeah.
It's a fortune cookie inside of a B.
Yes.
It's my
No.
awesome handwriting. All right, so this is how you solve for the equation of a line. Okay, do the next warm-up. There's the first one for you. All right, so you should have written system of linear equations, which is just a set of 2 or more linear equations. So you have 2 or more lines. That's what you need to know. A solution, 7th grade. A solution of a system of linear equations is the 2 variables, so an x and a y, that could be an answer to those system. So let's do one. See, look, if you look right here real quick, you have 2 lines. You see they meet at a point?
Yes.
That's a solution. Okay, so let's do it. Put this in your journals. Loading. All right, so we're going to solve the system. Now you see here, how many lines do we have represented? 2. Y equals mx plus b for here, y equals mx plus b from here. Those are 2 separate lines. They want you to solve the system by telling me where those 2 lines cross on a graph. That make sense? So we're going to graph them. What form do they need to be in order to graph them?
Slope-intercept.
Slope-intercept, very good. Or y equals mx plus b. Are these 2 in y equals mx plus b?
Yes.
Excellent. As you practice this, they will not be in slope-intercept form. You will have to put them in slope-intercept form first. But we're already here, so let's graph them. So let's do the first one. What is my y-intercept?
5.
So I'm going to go up to 5, put a dot.
Dot.
Oh, boom, they just did it. Okay. And what's my slope?
2x.
So from the 5, I go up 2 over 1, put another dot,
Dot.
and then draw a line.
Line.
Comprende so far? You should be sketching this in your journal. Okay, equation 2, what's my y-intercept?
-1.
So I go down to -1 and put a dot. And what's my slope?
-4.
So I go down 4 over 1. If for some strange reason your graph doesn't have that, instead of going down 4 to the right 1, you go up 4, back 1. You would reverse it. Are you talking when I'm talking? It makes it hard for other people to learn. What's your question? Okay, so we did the y-intercept here, -1. So there'd be a dot right there. And then your slope is down 4 over 1. You see the -4? So if for some reason the graph cuts off like this one does, instead of going down 4 to the right 1, from that point I go up 4, back 1. So see how right here is where the point would be? Okay? So these 2 lines cross right here. What point is that?
-1,3.
-1, 3. That is the solution to the system of linear equations. It sounds a lot fancier than it is. Okay, you can test it by plugging it in and seeing if the answer comes out correctly. If I plug in 3 for y and -1 for x, does 3 equal 3?
Yes.
Yeah. So you could say that it is a true statement. That's how you just checked it. Do you have to check it? No. I'm not going to require you to check it. Okay? So it's very wordy, but it's just, where do these 2 lines cross? A solution to the system of linear equations.
Okay.
Comprende?
Kind of.
Ma'am.
Kind of. When you get to high school and use graphing calculators, you can plug in the 2 lines and it will solve it for you.
Cheating.
No, using technology is not cheating. But not understanding why it did this would not help you. All right. Make sure that's in your journal. Go and do the next set, or the first set of try-its, 1 through 3. I'll leave this up for just a few minutes in case you didn't copy it today. Okay, so we're going to solve this system. First thing you need to look at, are these 2 lines in slope-intercept?
No.
The first one is, the second one is not. So we need to put this one into slope-intercept.
Yeah, I agree with John.
Sorry. Why? They don't do any... Okay.
So it doesn't even matter?
It does matter.
You really get, wait.
I just get annoyed because they just jump to it.
You wouldn't.
Negative... Wow.
A good grade now.
Negative x. We got to put this in slope-intercept form.
X.
Plus 2y. 2. I missed my mouse.
Yes.
Equals -4.
I'm mixing 2.
It's at my house somewhere. All right, so how do I move things around so that I get y by itself here?
You add X.
Add it.
Right, so let's add x first. Okay, so that cancels. I have 2y. Okay, and remember, put the x value stuff first. So I'm just going to say x here, because it's a positive x, and then I put -4. Okay, now how do I get y by itself?
You divide.
Hey.
Divide everything by the 2. Divide everything over here by 2. Shh. Joel, please stop talking. Did he just say yeah, Joel, to himself?
Yes. I didn't. Yes, you did.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I did it.
All right, so what is in front of this x?
1.
A 1. So I can have 1 divided by 2, just leave it as a fraction. 1/2 x. What is negative 4 divided by 2?
-2.
Very good. Negative 2. Now, is this equation in slope-intercept form?
Yeah.
So now we can graph it.
Yay.
Okay.
Hmm?
Math.
This is why you need to pay attention to the steps. All math is remembering each step and doing the steps over and over again. That's all it is. That's why I let you take notes, because you can write down the steps and practice. I require you to take notes. This is your math journals.
Oh.
All right. Okay, so they graphed the first one. What is my y-intercept here?
-2.
Negative 2. So I went down to negative 2, put a dot. What's my slope?
1.
2.
Alright.
Yeah. No.
2.
2.
See the 2 right there in front of the x?
Yeah, sorry, I'm blind.
So right here at negative 2, I go up 2 over 1 for my slope, put a dot there, and graph it. And you have a line going through those. Joel! I cannot continue to talk over the top of you. Okay, so here's the first line. Now the second line, we wrote as an equation.
Yeah.
1/2 x minus 2. So what is my y-intercept?
-2.
So again, right here at minus 2. And what's my slope?
1/2.
So up 1 over 2.
What?
So started here, up 1 over 2, because it was 1 over 2.
Yep.
1/2.
Yay.
Okay, so where do these two lines cross?
Oh,
0, -2.
Yep, on the x,
Oh, yeah.
they did not go left or right, so 0, and they went down 2. So the point where these two cross is at 0, -2, or the solution of these two lines is 0, -2. Okay? Okay, go do the next set. And self-assess. Okay?
Yay.
All right, example 3. In football, each extra point made is 1 point, and each field goal made is 3 points. A kicker makes a total of 8 extra points and field goals in a game and scores 12 points. How many field goals did the kicker make? So this is how you can actually create a word problem and solve for the system of solutions. Okay, so let's create our two equations. So first of all, how many extra points were given are going to be represented by x. We're going to add that to the number of field goals, which is y. When you add those up, I should get the total number of kicks. Okay, so that's one equation. Number of points, number of field goals equals the number of kicks. The number of times we kicked an extra or ran an extra point, and the number of times we kicked a field goal. Okay, and then my next equation is to do the actual numbers. So points per extra times the number of kicks, or this is the number of times we ran it into the end zone, plus the points of a field goal times how many field goals equals the score. Okay, so that's the verbal model of these two equations. So how many total kicks did we do?
8. Oh, wait, no.
12, 3, a number.
Okay, how much is each extra point worth?
No.
1.
So it is
How much is each field goal worth?
3.
3. Okay, and then how many points did he score altogether?
Whoa.
Okay, so we can plug that in. And he kicked the ball he kicked it 8 times. Okay, so here's our two equations. X plus y equals 8. He got some points for running it in and some points for kicking it, of a total of 8 extra points. And then the other one is we kicked it 1 point per kick and 3 points. 1 point per run in and 3 points per kick, equaling 12 points. So there's our system. So can we solve this system for where they cross?
Yeah.
Yes. They're going to graph it, but we're going to do it algebraically probably. All right, so first you would need to put these in slope-intercept form. Okay, so how would I get this first one in slope-intercept form? Subtract x from both sides, and you're going to get y equals negative. I hate that they don't do that. All right, so we're going to do it here. So if I have x plus y, I missed my mouse, equals 8. Okay, we subtracted x. This is a giant y. Y equals negative x. What's in front of the x? What number?
1.
A 1. Very good. Okay, so this is now in slope-intercept form. So you could graph that. You go on the y line to positive 8. My slope is down 1 over 1. You see that's what they did here. Positive 8, down 1 over 1. Graphed it. Okay? So let's look at the second one. We have x plus 3y equals 12. Okay? We need to put this in slope-intercept form. So we need to solve for y. What is my first step?
Subtract x to both sides.
Yep, move the x first. So minus x, minus x. Can't simplify those, so I have 3y. My computer is stressing. Okay, these are not like terms, so I'm just going to write x stuff first. And it's a positive 12, so I say plus 12. All right, now I need to get the y by itself. So how do I get the 3 away? Divide by 3. Divide everything over here by 3. Okay, so this is canceled. I get y equals. What's in front of this x?
1.
So just leave it as a negative 1/3, since it doesn't divide evenly. And then what is 12 divided by 3?
4.
All right, now is this in slope-intercept form?
Yes.
So now you can graph that. What is my y-intercept? 4. So I'm going to go on the 4 and put a dot, and what's my slope? So I'm going to go down 1 over 3. Okay, so when you graphed it, ta-da, and you see where they cross. Where do they cross at?
6, 2.
Okay, so the solution is at 6-2, which means the kicker made how many field goals? Well, if you go back, my face is in the way. If you go back to what x and y represented, field goals was what? The y, right? So since the answer was 6-2, we know that he kicked 2 field goals. Because the x stood for the extra points, whereas the y stood for the how many field goals he kicked. Okay? Question? You wrote it down? Okay, good. All right. So make sure you have finished all the way through self-assess number 13 by tomorrow. If you need help on it later, I can help you.